All right, so today we're going deep on Acidophilus.
Oh, yeah. Sounds interesting.
We've got, a bunch of product descriptions and info blurbs about one specific Acidophilus supplement,
Okay.
all from healthavenues.info.
Cool.
And the really interesting thing is this isn't just any,
Right.
basic probiotic. This thing's been around for almost 3 decades.
Wow, that's what really got me curious,
Yeah.
3 decades is a long time, especially when you think about how much research on gut health
Mm-hmm.
has changed in that time.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you wonder, like, what's made this particular acidophilus supplement,
Yeah.
so popular for so long?
Yeah, for sure. Let's
Yeah.
try to figure that out. But first,
Yeah.
for anyone who needs a refresher, what is Acidophilus anyway?
Sure. So
That's a probiotic, right?
it is. Acidophilus is a type of bacteria. Technically, it's called Lactobacillus acidophilus.
Ah, okay.
But basically, it's one of the many good bacteria or probiotics that live naturally in our gut.
Okay, so
So kind of like a VIP resident
Got it.
of your gut microbiome.
okay, microbiome. So that's
Yeah.
that's the whole community of microorganisms
Exactly.
living in our gut.
Yep, you can almost think of it like a microscopic city.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Yeah, it's very complex with good and bad neighborhoods.
Right.
You want the good guys to be in charge.
Makes sense.
That's where probiotics like Acidophilus come in.
Yeah.
They help to maintain that healthy balance.
Right.
And that balance is super important for a lot more than just digestion.
So the source mentions this idea that antibiotics
Yes.
wipe out all the bacteria in your gut, the good and the bad.
Yeah, it's like,
And that makes sense, but is
Yeah.
it really that vulnerable? Can't the gut bounce back from that on its own?
it can to a certain extent. I mean, think of it like,
That's like the wildfire.
right, ripping through a forest.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the plants, they'll eventually grow back. But it takes time, and the landscape is going to look different afterwards.
Right.
Antibiotics can be like that wildfire, leaving your gut microbiome kind of scorched.
Oh, okay.
So replenishing the good bacteria, especially after you've taken antibiotics,
Mm-hmm.
can really help speed up the recovery process.
So Acidophilus is
Yeah.
swooping in to the rescue.
Yeah, sort of. It helps to repopulate your gut with good bacteria.
Okay.
Kind of like reseeding that forest
Right.
with the right trees.
With the right trees. I like that.
And this particular supplement claims to have benefits that go beyond just digestion, like it mentions immune system support,
Oh, interesting.
which I'm curious to learn more about. And it even says it can help produce lactase.
Lactase, okay.
The enzyme that breaks down lactose.
Oh, that's interesting because that could mean it might be helpful
Yeah.
for people who are lactose intolerant, right?
That's right, yeah.
The folks who can't, have dairy without some problems. I never would have thought that a tiny bacteria
Yeah.
could have such a big impact on, all these different things.
It's all about the interconnectedness of our body. The gut is like,
Yeah.
it's like this central hub communicating with all our systems.
Mm-hmm.
So a healthy gut microbiome can affect everything from your digestion
All right.
to your immune system, maybe even brain health. Who knows?
Wow. Okay, so this Acidophilus supplement comes in delayed release capsules. Why is that important? Is it just
Well, think about it like this.
okay.
Imagine sending, a bunch of delicate little Acidophilus troops
Right.
into a war zone, which is basically what your stomach is like.
With all that acid.
Yeah, exactly. With all that harsh acid. So those delayed release capsules,
Yeah.
they're like tiny armored vehicles,
Yeah.
protecting the bacteria until they get to the intestines,
Okay.
which is where they need to be.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like a microscopic military operation. The source also mentions that the bacteria are freeze-dried to
Right.
preserve viability.
Yeah.
Is that another way to protect those little troops?
Exactly. So freeze drying basically removes moisture from the bacteria,
Uh-huh.
which puts them into kind of a state of suspended animation,
Okay.
like hitting the pause button on their activity. And this keeps them alive and potent
Mm-hmm.
until they reach your gut, where they can reawaken
Right.
and get to work.
So we've got these, high-tech capsules and freeze-drying,
Yeah.
all designed to deliver this Acidophilus, safely to where it needs to be. But the source also mentions that, different cultures
Yeah.
have been harnessing the power of, good bacteria
Right.
for centuries through fermented foods.
Exactly. It's pretty cool how traditional food practices, they often predate our scientific understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Kimchi is a perfect example.
Oh, yeah. Kimchi.
With its long history of fermentation, it's like a natural probiotic powerhouse full of beneficial bacteria,
Yeah.
kind of like those found in this Acidophilus supplement.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really makes you think,
Yeah.
Like those old traditions, they were onto something even if they didn't know.
Right. Like they didn't have the science to explain it.
Exactly, exactly.
Makes you wonder if like our whole obsession with probiotics these days is
Yeah.
really just, rediscovering what people already knew
Yeah, maybe.
way back when.
I gotta admit, though, popping a capsule,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier than, making a batch of kimchi.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, this Acidophilus supplement recommends
Mhm.
like 1 to 3 capsules a day.
Yeah, and they specifically say to take it with a meal.
Oh, with a meal, why do you think that is?
Well, think of it this way.
Okay.
It's like giving the bacteria a little buffer,
Right, from that harsh stomach acid.
Exactly. It's kind of like a shield as they go through the digestive tract.
Smart. So we talked about how Acidophilus helps digestion, but I'm still really curious about that lactase thing. You said it could help people produce more lactase.
Yeah, it's one of the exciting areas of research.
Does that mean it could actually help with lactose intolerance?
It could. So lactase is the enzyme that breaks down lactose,
Mm-hmm.
which is the sugar in milk, right?
Right.
And people with lactose intolerance, they don't make enough lactase.
So they have those digestive issues.
Exactly. And some studies have shown that some probiotics,
Okay.
like Acidophilus, might help to boost lactase activity in the gut.
So it's not just like
Right.
improving digestion overall. It could help with that specific issue.
Yeah, it could.
That's pretty impressive for a tiny little bacteria.
Yeah, the gut microbiome is full of surprises.
That's for sure.
And it's not all about digestion. Remember that immune system support the source talked about.
Right, because a healthy gut means a strong immune system.
Exactly. They're way more connected than you might think.
I always thought of them as kind of, separate.
Well, a balanced gut microbiome, it's like a well-trained army.
Oh, I like that.
And Acidophilus is like the drill sergeant,
Okay.
making sure your gut's defenses are ready to go.
So it's kind of like by supporting a healthy gut microbiome, Acidophilus is indirectly boosting the immune system too.
Exactly. It's like a chain reaction of good health.
Wow. That's amazing.
It goes back to that idea of everything being connected,
Right. Like what happens in one part of the body can affect other parts.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, speaking of connections, what about those delayed release capsules?
Yeah.
Like, is there actual science behind that, or is it just marketing hype?
That's a good question. And there's a lot of research being done
Oh, okay.
comparing delayed release to regular capsules.
Mm-hmm.
And studies suggest that delayed release mechanism really does help the probiotics survive the stomach acid.
Interesting.
So more of the bacteria reach the intestines alive and ready to do their thing.
So it's not just hype. There's actual evidence to back it up. That's good to know. It makes you think about, like,
Yeah.
what other, innovations are coming.
For sure, there's a lot of cool research happening.
Big what?
Well, for example, scientists are exploring microencapsulation.
What's that?
It involves coating individual bacteria in a protective layer,
Oh,
like giving them their own little spacesuits.
that's so cool.
Yeah, to protect them.
So it sounds like probiotic delivery in the future,
Yeah.
it's going to be even more targeted
Exactly.
and effective. But I want to go back to something the source mentioned.
Sure.
They emphasized that this Acidophilus supplement has been around for almost 30 years.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
What does that tell us about, like, how probiotic research has changed?
Well, it's a testament to how far we've come in understanding the gut microbiome. 30 years ago, probiotics were kind of a niche thing.
Right.
And this Acidophilus supplement was really a pioneer.
Okay.
It paved the way for this whole new awareness of gut health.
So it was like a trailblazer.
Yeah, exactly. Back when probiotics weren't as, mainstream like they are now.
Exactly. And the fact that it's still popular
Yeah.
after all this time, I mean, that says something about its quality. Back then, research was mostly focused on, single strain probiotics.
Like Acidophilus.
Acidophilus, right. But now scientists are looking at the whole gut ecosystem,
Okay.
and multi-strain probiotics are becoming more common.
Oh, interesting.
And personalized approaches, too.
It's like we've gone from looking at Acidophilus
Yeah.
under a microscope to seeing this whole,
It's like zooming out to this panoramic view.
panoramic view of the entire gut microbiome.
Exactly.
And how it affects the whole body.
Exactly. And that's led to this huge surge in interest in gut health, which is great.
It really is. I mean, it's incredible to think that this whole world, this microscopic world is happening inside of us.
Right.
And it plays such a big role in our overall health.
Yeah.
So for anyone who's just starting to,
Yeah.
learn about probiotics and gut health,
Mm-hmm.
what are some key takeaways you would recommend?
Well, I think the most important thing to remember is that a balanced gut microbiome is really important for overall health.
Balance. So it's not just about, like,
Right.
taking a probiotic and that's it?
No, it's more about understanding how our choices affect that ecosystem in our gut.
Right. So, like...
Yeah, things like diet, stress,
too.
sleep, even exposure to nature.
Oh, interesting.
All those things can impact the bacteria in our gut.
So it's really about...
It's about making choices that support a good microbiome.
Right, like a holistic approach.
Exactly. And if you are thinking about a probiotic supplement, it's a good idea to do your research and choose a brand that has, good science behind it.
Right.
This particular Acidophilus supplement, with its long track record, seems like a solid choice.
It's really cool that it's been around for so long and still, relevant. It shows they're committed to research and innovation. And who knows what will happen in the next 30 years.
Yeah, what do you think?
Maybe we'll have personalized probiotics.
Wow.
Tailored to each person's microbiome.
Like a custom blend.
Exactly. Or even microbiome transplants.
Microbiome transplants.
Microbiome transplants. Wow.
To treat specific health issues. I mean,
that's like...
the future of gut health is really exciting.
It really is. I mean, it's amazing to think that we're just beginning to understand this whole world that lives inside us.
Exactly. And with every new discovery, we're learning more about how to improve our health.
This has been a fascinating deep dive.
Yeah, it has.
Into the world of Acidophilus. We've talked about everything from ancient fermentation.
It's been fun.
To cutting-edge science.
Yeah.
And we've uncovered the amazing link between this bacteria and our health.
Absolutely.
And for our listeners, keep exploring and keep learning.
Yeah.
And keep taking care of that amazing microbiome.
That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for listening.